Hey guys, I just wanted to give you guys an update on GCA Launcher. I haven't done a video like this in a while, and kind of a first thing with the whole webcam thing. I want to get engaged with the community a little bit more, but I've been asking questions about GCA V2, and a lot of people are asking when it's releasing, because the last time we received an update for this launcher has been a few months now. And there's been reason for that. There's been a lot of problems, monkey wrenches, things that haven't made anything easier on me. But the launcher is going through a completely rewrite. It's being rewritten from the ground up. We're not exactly doing what Microsoft Launcher did, where they claimed that they rewrote the launcher, and this code of the launcher is based on Pixel Launcher, so I think they just kind of rebased. But we are rebuilding from the ground up, complete zero, completely from scratch, and we're doing that so that we can include new features, a brand new experience, and just something that you haven't experienced yet in the launcher scene. When we hear of new launchers coming out, and somebody says, "Hey, check out my new launcher," and you already know what you're expecting, because it's based on Pixel Launcher, and you know what it's going to do. There's nothing exciting coming out these days. In 2020, I wanted to enter the Android scene with a brand new launcher experience, and that's what GCA is going to be all about. It's going to be about this simple launcher that can do a lot, and that's what we're going to be aiming for. So I wanted to take you guys on a tour of what I have accomplished in V2 already, so you can actually see how far along ways development is, and just to get an idea of where exactly I'm at. So if we look at the home screen right here, comparing it to GCA Launcher V1, which is currently available on Google Play right now, you notice that the search bar is missing, the top widget area is kind of different. That's all going to change, and when you're looking at the home screen right now, this is it. This is what it's going to look like right out of the box. You'll notice that we have this new indicator here. The dock is smaller. It's more built to be wrapped around the objects instead of being a solid size. It's just going to be cleaner. If we long click, there's our menu. Like always, that is also going to be cleaner. It's not going to be intimidating, when you open up the menu and you're like, what the heck is this garbage? It's going to be cleaner. It's going to be straightforward. I'm not here to confuse you. If we double tap, you got this new menu. No folders found. In V1, a lot of people requested folders. I am bringing that into V2. Now, it's not going to be the type of folders that we're used to. It's going to be more like groups. You'll be able to create groups of apps and be able to categorize everything. Here's my documents, here's my media, here's my social apps, here's my work apps, here's my don't touch apps. You'll be able to put a lock on these groups, kind of a security thing. It's going to be great. It's going to be nice. And I approached it this way because a lot of people were asking more for tabs in the app drawer, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to populate the app drawer with garbage, and I want the app drawer to be a menu. I want it to be a place where, this is your apps. That's it. This is where you go to, get your normal apps, your device apps. This is just a generic place where we store all of our apps. Nothing more. We don't want to confuse anybody. Now this menu right here, the sheet, it's going to be multi-purposed. And when I say multi-purpose, if we long click on an app, it's called the Launcher Sheet Menu. Are you done?
No.
Yeah?
No.
No? Getting more chips?
Yeah.
The good chips. Psycho. In this app sheet, you'll notice that there is a column for actions and shortcuts. Actions are basically just system of shortcuts. What Pixel Launcher refers them to. If we click the About icon, it's going to show us info from the Android settings about the application. And that's basically what it's here to do. Kind of give us shortcuts to inside the Android system about that app. So instead of digging for it through the Android settings, it's all right here. It's all right here. So if we want to change the notification settings for Chrome, there it is. You know, quick and easy. Oops. Come on. Worst thing about emulated devices is that they're poop slow. Or they freeze. Which is, I think, is what we did. $1,300 laptop, and it can't handle a emulated device. There we go. And then below it is our shortcuts. New tab and incognito tab. And, you know, Android shortcuts have been around since Android Nugget. And what I'm going to be trying to do is, for those of you who are using Android 6 and Android 5, I'm going to be trying to implement generic shortcuts in the future. This is going to be an update that we focus on later down the road, where you're going to have shortcuts available to you. They just won't be real, but they'll be available to you. So you're not missing out on anything. This will be on the roadmap somewhere along the line. If we click this icon menu, this is the holy grail of the V2 update. You will be able to customize your icons. You will be able to rename the title. You will be able to adjust the style in real time. And it's great because in V1 you had this theme activity where you could apply an icon pack, you can change the style of all of your icons, and that was it. In V2, you can do that on an individual app basis. So if you apply an icon pack and you know there's this one icon that just doesn't fit, you're just stressing out over it, like that is an ugly icon, I don't want it on my desktop, you can change it, you can modify it. So what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to trigger whether or not it uses the icon pack, and then you will have 3 different types of icon options: an adaptive icon, which is the default white background mask, and then you have the adapted tinted icon, which it kind of extracts the icon color and wraps a shape around it, and then the regular icon. So if we do this and adjust the scale, now you see that the icon is green and it's scaled the icon inside the shape. If we click on the phone icon so that we can actually see it, if you watch it carefully, watch it now. It's supposed to be changing. So we have discovered a bug. Or haven't we? What is going on? There it goes. So the scale was just perfect on that rare occasion. So if you see the icon right now, you're making changes in real time. You can preview it in real time. Now, you can't exactly do that when the apps are overlaid, but the idea behind it is that the icon is changing in real time. You can make changes, dismiss the menu, look at it, like, Let's see. But the point of being is that you'll be able to edit your icons. Now, if we go back to the Chrome icon really quick and switch it to the regular icon, as you can see, it's reverted back to its original icon, what Google released the app with. And then, how do we manage our favorite apps? Well, it's simple. In V1, what you had to do is you had to find an app in your app drawer, long click it, click the favorite action, and then select which hot seat you wanted to apply it in, and then click apply. And that was way too many steps. And now, select app, drive. Done. Done. Switch up to Play Store. YouTube. Done. That is a whole lot simpler than the process that we had in V1. Now, I'm assuming that I'm going to touch this up in the future, but that's it. That's that. If we take a look at the app drawer now, the app drawer and the shelf have been remapped a little bit. They are no longer a single view, and why we did that is because so that it would look better, it would behave better. And you know, when I say behave better, I'm meaning from a universal standpoint. You know, if you're using a 12-inch tablet, 10-inch tablet versus your 5-inch phone, you want the interface to be relatively the same. You know, you don't want any differences. And so now the two kind of overlap one another. Now, as you can see, the app drawer is not done right now. What you're looking at right now is the brand new recent apps list. And how recent apps work now is that it bases this information from a system standpoint. You know, it uses the device's usage stats instead of, you know, relying on information that the launcher has stored. It's relying on information stored outside of the application, which gives you a much more accurate results. It doesn't feel like it's clustered. And, you know, you're not always going to have 5 apps right there or 7 apps right there. You're not going to have a huge list of apps. It's always going to present the apps that you're using frequently. You know, it's not always going to be there. So it's a lot more accurate. I still need to monitor how much battery usage it uses. That's a little bit of the scary part. Don't know if I did it correctly first time using usage stats, but as you can see, it knows that we just opened up Chrome, so it spit it into that list. But the drawer is kinda finicky right now. No. Yeah. Not done yet. But that's where the indicator comes in play. Why did the Google app go there? Oh no. Oh, maybe because it. Yeah. So, that's what the drawer is going to look like. Eventually, when the app drawer is filled, this little color is going to overlap, and it's going to create like a really cool effect, I hope. Kind of like a blur effect without the actual blur engine running in the background and killing your battery. I hope. But it's going to take some time. In the app drawer, though, we're going to still rely on the whole primary and secondary tab system. I really like that. I really like the ability to have my standard apps and then maybe my system apps or my Google apps, you know, be able to organize that. But I really like that concept, so we're going to stick with it. But we're going to jump into the settings really quick. And we're going to play with the shelf. Ding ding. Oh yes. So this is what I wanted, the search bar. Dual layer. We're going to set it up for 10 favorites. Gonna go crazy. Default. Oh. It was a little bit delayed. Sorry. But the new search bar can be toggled, and it can be placed on the top of your apps or the bottom of your apps. And search is going to be a little bit different in V2. It's going to be its own entity. You'll be able to launch it away from the launcher. It's going to be something that you can access anywhere. And when you launch search, you'll be able to search your apps that are installed, your recent apps. You'll be able to search on the internet. You'll be able to search on Google Play. It's going to be like a global search, and through the roadmap of updates, I hope this to be a global search too, so you'll be able to integrate into your contacts and all that fun stuff. So it's going to be very useful. But as you can see, it has retained some of its features from V1, which if you use app shortcuts, it'll save that information, stick it in the search bar, and so that those shortcuts will kind of stay there as predicted shortcuts. It knows that you use the new tab shortcut from Chrome all the time, so it's going to stick it there. It knows that you make contact with this person all the time, so it's going to stick it there. And it always saves 2 favorite shortcuts. That's it. You can access your launcher menu. And the search bar will have gestures tied to it, so you'll be able to add 2 custom actions to it. Can we be a little bit? Yes. I said yes. So, that looks kind of gross. It's gonna need some work. Yeah. Never really took the time to look at that. But, the shelf now has the ability to do 2 layers, so it kind of brings in the whole home screen experience, the home screen grid experience to your dock. So there's going to be a lot of things accessible from your home screen now, instead of it just being a screen. That was one of our goals in V2 as well. It's just to kind of take bits and pieces and favorite things about other launchers and kind of just look at it from a different perspective. Okay, if we take a look at Launcher, and you can drag icons everywhere. We don't really need that. We can just stick it over here and kind of minimize the whole experience so that you're not ruining your wallpaper, your precious wallpaper that defines your whole home screen setup. And you don't want to get rid of that. You want to kind of savor the whole style and theme. You want to be able to appreciate what you've done to your home screen and show it off. And, that's the whole point of this new customization, is to kind of let you have control. And we're not going nuts with settings and customizations. We're kind of focusing on the important things, and that's why I'm calling it focused customization. I'll refer to it sometimes on Twitter. If you have this view that, as I'm coding it and I'm putting in manual options and colors and things like that, I sit here and I think to myself, what should the users be able to customize, and what are we going to lock out? We don't want to go nuts. We don't want to confuse anybody. We want things to be automated. So that's how that's going to work. Speaking of automation, GCA V2 now has an automated theme engine. So if we change the wallpaper, for instance. Oh, by the way, this is my drywall app, my wallpaper app. It is now available on Google Play. You should download it. It's really cool. Set wallpaper. Burp. Home screen. Set. So once we exit, it's got to download it. Once we exit and go to our home screen, the theme will change. so it didn't kick in all the way, apparently. So instead of relying on Cyanea in V1, we've gotten rid of that theme engine, and now the wallpaper does its job. The system does everything for you. It kind of tints everything, and I really like it. It's nice. It does everything for you, and it just makes sense too. Why have the user be able to choose from billions of colors when you can, and you're sitting there struggling to find a color that matches your wallpaper. Excuse me. When you can just have the application do it for you. Makes sense. Makes sense. And so that I don't have to worry about figuring out if this 1 billionth color will work with my text. If I create a theme engine that knows, okay, when it's this color, make this white, or when it's this lighter color, make this dark. And that's how the launcher works now. It knows exactly what color should be what and how it should be. In Cyanea, we were running into problems. It's a really cool Android library for theming your app, but for a launcher experience, it didn't work so well. So, that's that. Now, our second topic. It's not supposed to be like that. Let me just restart it. Might work this time. Okay. In V2, GCA Launcher is no longer a single screen launcher. It's going to have its own add-on page, similar to the OnePlus shelf feature, where if you slide to the left, there's just this page that offers all sorts of tools and reminders and all sorts of stuff. This is also included in the Microsoft launcher. If you're talking about the Pixel launcher, it has Google Now, or the Google feed. In GCA V2, we're going to have this brand new add-on page that kind of helps you throughout your day. You'll be able to add pages, cards, look at some news, check your device for any sort of reminders. It's a long ways off, but by default it uses the Google at a glance widget to show you the date and the weather. Again, this is also a shortcut to access the launcher menu. Got some options here. So there's going to be a lot of personalization right here. This is your page, so this is going to include a lot more customization right here versus the launcher itself. So this is for you. This is your page. This is your add-on page. And if everything goes correctly, there will be an API that I will be developing so that developers can develop add-ons for this. So they'll be able to publish it on Google Play, you'll be able to download it, and the launcher will identify that this is an add-on for this launcher, and you'll be able to use it. That's on the roadmap as well. I'm going to try and integrate my own generic Google feed, so we'll see how all that goes. But this is going to be a game changer. It blends right in with everything. It's smooth. It doesn't affect anything. You can still access stuff. I'm not sure if that was supposed to happen. Oh, maybe. Okay. So, why it's doing that is that when this list is populated with stuff, when I get there, cards and pages and whatnot, this whole area is going to lift up. The toolbar is going to stick at the top, I hope, and it's going to kind of retain this transition effect. Maybe. that's about it to share off right now. As you can see, there isn't a whole lot of the launcher done yet, and that's why I keep saying just kind of be patient. I work on this a few hours a day, so I don't get just burnt out. But it's coming along nicely. I'm taking my time with this launcher. I don't want to rush it at all. I want it to, be a competitive launcher. I want it to be like the next best thing that releases, and I have a lot of work to do yet. As you can see today, there's been a lot of freezing. There's been a lot of... Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen, There's a lot of work to do, and I have already invested over 100 hours into this project just by getting what we've seen today. And, this page right here, this page of code, is just to show off this. That whole page that you've seen is just telling the whole app to do this, and not the clicks, not the menus, but take all that information that's going on and just place it where you see it. It's been very complicated. I gotta design what's called receivers, which means that it's listening in the background. So if an app updates or an app uninstalls, to update this, to remove this. If the wallpaper changes, change this menu, reset the theme. If an app installs and requests a shortcut, place that shortcut in this list, update that. If I receive a notification from Gmail from so-and-so, take that notification, copy it, save it to the database, place it in this menu so that that user can view it right from there. If I receive a text message and from so-and-so, save that to the database, how many notifications are currently available, add it to that, change the value, take that value, send it to this menu, change these values, make this view visible, disable that view. There's so much going on in the background for a launcher that it's crazy. I spent a day alone just working on the notification system, and it's still not done. It's crazy. But I hope that when I do release this launcher this year, I'm hoping that we will start a beta next month, that I take this launcher into the correct direction that I originally wanted it to be. I've changed the perspective of how I wanted it to be. At first I wanted this launcher to be like a Pixel / Chromium desktop hybrid. I've kind of changed it. I want to design something that we haven't seen yet. I want to use something that we haven't experienced yet. I want it to be designed to work, to do what it's supposed to. If I say that this is a universal launcher that will work across all of your devices, that's what you should expect. If I say that you can take your icons and edit them and it's in the app description, I want you to be able to do that. I want new Android users to step into the scene and see this launcher and use it right out of the box without being confused. And I hope I'm in that direction, but we'll see. But anyways, if you like what you've seen, subscribe. I'm not a big YouTube person, but if I see more people subscribing to this stuff, I'll do more videos. If you have any feedback on the launcher and you've been using GCA launcher for a very long time and you've seen something today that you didn't like or you did like, talk to me about it, because even though this is not an open source project, it is a group effort. If you talk to me about something that you want, the proof is in V2. All these people requested all these options and features that they wanted in V1, and at first I said no, but in the pledge system it has proved that I'm going to listen. The pledge system is there to make donations and to say, hey, I want this feature, here's a pledge. And, you know, over time that has proved to be successful. You know, I'm not going to sit here and charge a set amount for you to use the launcher. I'm going to make the launcher free, and I'm going to allow you to make pledges and donations on your own time. So if so many updates release and the launcher's just completely going in the direction that you hoped it to be, you know, that's why that's there, you know. To constantly keep the project alive and wealthy and successful. And all of that depends on you. This part, unfortunately, is my doing. But I think we are headed in the correct direction.